Before I start this video, I want to remind people I am not encouraging violence, okay? That's not why I'm doing these videos. These videos are for education purpose, for the purpose of educating people about the martial art of Tang Soo Do, and these are not to encourage violence. Now, what I want to point out to people that may have taken martial arts, if you did not have some version of this poster, it just happens to look better as a negative, but if your school did not have some version of this poster in it, you probably went to a dance academy, not a martial arts school, just saying. So these are the striking points of karate, and I'm going to get into them much deeper. So this doesn't go into enough detail, but it shows you the skull, bridge of nose, temple, upper lip, jaw, clavicle, solar plexus, abdomen, shins, groin, instep, Achilles tendon from the back, side of knee, back of knee, like what's called the hollow of the knee, they call it, tailbone, kidneys, small of back, vestis extremis or externus, upper back, base of skull, inside and outside of the elbow. We're going to get into this in a lot more detail, and I'm going to explain why. My karate instructor is probably one of the top pressure point experts in the world. Like, I'm not even joking. He makes that George Dolman guy look like nonsense. Of course, George Dolman does a good job of that on his own. I am not a believer in pressure points. Why am I not a believer in pressure points? And this is where I hope my instructor does not watch my videos because, he never brings them up, so I'd assume he doesn't watch them. But he'd get mad at me for saying such sacrilegious things. But I don't believe in pressure points because they don't work on everyone. You have to get them correctly. And the other thing is they are mainly pain compliance. With me, I believe the best way to take somebody out of a fight is to disable them, not pain compliance. I think that the best way is to break a knee, break a tibia, break an elbow, break a nose, disable their ability to see, things of that nature. You're not going to have good luck with pain compliance, especially if somebody's high on drugs such as PCP or cocaine or drunk or something of that nature. And you're not going to have a good time with pain compliance if the person has a high threshold on pain. And you're not going to have a good time with pain compliance if the person just is crazy or, just not. Some people just do not feel pain. In that situation, I don't think pressure points are the greatest of all things. And I'm going to move on. Now, the first thing that I want to get to is the cavities of the body, okay? These are great for striking, okay? And again, I'm not encouraging violence, but these are the cavities of the body. People that have I had to take a number of first aid courses for a number of the jobs I've had. I own many books on combat medicine. I own a number of books on various subjects to deal with first aid. And I've also had to take first aid. I was certified in life-saving and water rescue in the Scouts and the Boy Scouts. But let's take a look at these different cavities. So you have the cranial cavity. These are hollows. They're full of fluid and organs. Cranial cavity, vertebral cavity or dorsal cavity. The lungs this is the thoracic cavity, and this holds the lungs and the thymus and the heart, okay, abdominal cavity, pelvic cavity. These are prime striking targets, as is the dorsal cavity, the spine, okay, and the pelvic cavity. What is never spoken about enough is the sinus cavity. You'll notice the sinus cavity is left out. We're going to talk about the sinus cavity. So this is the sinus cavity, and as you can see, you see where the sinuses are located. These are, again, hollows. These are filled with air, okay? These are, again, prime striking targets, okay? Of course, there are better striking targets of the skull, and I'm going to show you what they are in a second. Now, remember when I made that video about that Wendy's worker that punched that poor gentleman in the side of the head and killed him in Prescott? Or Prescott Valley. I forget whether it was Prescott or Prescott Valley. One or the other. It was in Arizona. It was in Prescott or Prescott Valley. The man was from Dewey, Arizona. These are the striking targets of the side of the head. This is why people die from the knockout game, when irresponsible people walk up to people and just punch them in the frickin' head. It's one of the worst things you can do to somebody. You can seriously injure or kill somebody very easily by punching them in very specific areas of the head, particularly the ear, the jaw, under the nose, the side of the neck here, the back of the neck. Especially the back of the neck is a very dangerous place to be hitting people unless it's a self-defense situation. Especially the back of the neck where the skull and the neck meet. Very dangerous places to be hitting people. Okay, and of course the temple, which is the side of the head there. These are very serious places to be striking somebody, and they're very, very easy to take somebody out of a fight by hitting them in these places. The thing is, the reason you need martial arts classes or boxing classes or something is to learn how to create openings to strike these and how to strike them with what techniques. I wouldn't expect somebody to just know these things, although you can become a quick study very easily. Now, the spine is a primary target in striking. I think it's funny because a lot of martial arts books go crazy and they'll go into all this, the head, all these, lumbar spine, all the organs that go to this. You're not going to a martial arts school to get a degree in chiropractic, as much as that might surprise somebody. That's not why you're going to a martial arts school, generally speaking, unless you want to get a degree in chiropractic. I would recommend going to a chiropractor school. But you'll notice that each part of the spine correlates to different organ systems, glands, etc. This is very useful in physical therapy and chiropractic, and very useful in your personal life for preventative medicine and things of that nature. It's not necessary in martial arts, because if you're damaging the spine at any part, you're disabling the person. Very seriously. Again, very serious. This is only for self-defense situations, not for nonsense. In Tang Soo Do, we have a lot of hand and joint manipulations. Okay? What you need to understand with joints, you can go two ways with joints. You can go with the joint, with the motion of the joint to elicit a full body throw or things of that nature. You can go against the joint, breaking the joint. Okay? You can do a lot of things with joints. The primary ones are going with the flow of the joint, go with the flow of the momentum, things like that. The other is you can go against the flow of the momentum, breaking the joints, breaking ligaments. And I could get into muscle tearing, but I'm not going to do that. That is somewhat like pressure points, but not really, because you have to understand the fascia and the muscles are all over the body, and they are a prime target. You don't need a degree in pressure point martial arts to attack the musculature or the fascia. Okay, you don't need that. It's very easy. All you need is a very strong grip. Same goes with the elbow. You can either go against the elbow, breaking the elbow, or you can go with the elbow to elicit throws, things of that nature. Or you can, a big one that we use in Tang Soo Do is we like to dig in to this meaty part of the forearm here, which can hurt quite a bit. You can also disable somebody's hand by getting into that area, as well as with the bicep. The bicep and tricep are prime targets for strikes, as well as muscle ripping. The knee is a prime target for kicking. A lot of times you'll use the side of the foot to kick at the knees. You can also do a full side kick to the knee. Again, either going against the natural momentum of the knee, kicking to the front or the sides of the knee to break the knee, or kicking to the hollow of the knee to elicit the back of the knee, to elicit the person falling. You can also attack the various muscles and the quadricep and also the nerves that are there. And I'm going to call it quits on this video. That's all for this video. Again, this video is not to promote violence of any kind. I made this as an educational video, educating people about the martial art of Tang Soo Do.